Within the past 2 weeks, about 12,000 property owners in Lee County flooded the property appraiser's website reporting hurricane damage to their homes or businesses. The county is reevaluating those properties damaged by Helene and Milton. As WGCU's Jennifer Crawford reports, that means some owners can expect to pay less in property taxes.
Just devastated. I walked in, the rock was hanging off the ceiling, and like, what happened? I mean, my poor neighbor lost his roof. It was devastating. It was really bad.
Several weeks post-Milton, Matlacha business owner Onofrio Di Mattia struggles to process what has happened again to his custom jewelry boutique on the island.
When I came back from Helene, there was about 2 feet of water, which was okay. It didn't reach the electric yet. I could work with it, I could clean. We did some cleaning, and then once I started seeing Milton's coming close, I was like, no, we got to get out of here. I didn't think it was going to be this devastating, but yeah, it was actually worse than Ian.
For this lifelong master jeweler, rebuilding for the third time is almost more than he can bear.
We had a tornado to deal with, and that I ripped my electric through, actually my meter, just ripped it right out.
While there's no metric to estimate the storm's emotional impact,
I've never been depressed as much as I've been of late, but I'll get by.
Quantifying the storm's impact on his property is underway.
In the wake of a storm like this, we've got to go out and see what's the physical condition, what actually happened, so that property owners aren't paying taxes on, buildings they can't use.
Lee County property appraiser Matt Caldwell walks through, inspects, and documents his findings.
Back is my factory, where all my tools were destroyed. You can see the water level on my antique desk.
Yep.
Caldwell says every year he and his team assess more than 500,000 parcels of real estate in Lee County.
We use our own aerial overflights that we purchase every year. We fly those every January, February. After disasters, we've got one that's already been flown for Milton. We flew one right after Ian, and those give us really detailed imagery about what's going on the ground immediately in the 2-3 days after the storms.
Once property owners begin to file damage reports, Caldwell says they immediately prioritize field efforts on those parcels.
We've got right now about 12,000 property owners that have contacted us, filed a damage report, and we'll take those reports, get them mapped out, see where they are, and go evaluate their neighboring properties. If folks haven't reported to us, we need to make sure we understand what's happening in the entire community. Flooring, major. Plumbing's going to have to be all redone. Electrical's going to have to be all redone.
Damages are classified in one of 4 categories.
It's either, essentially fine, minor damage, major damage, or uninhabitable, and then we'll deduct a percentage based upon that whole category.
Caldwell reaffirms what Di Mattia already knows.
I would classify this as major. I mean, he's going to be able to rebuild if that's what he decides to do, but he certainly can't operate right now. There's no way that with this kind of damage.
Caldwell estimates the value of the structure will drop in half, from about $328,000 to $158,000, resulting in a much lower tax bill.
Any, less bills are the best thing right now, because there is nothing coming in as far as money and monetary. I have no job, technically. I lost my job. This is my job. I don't know what else to do, so yes, that is help, and I'm grateful for that.
A silver lining for this master jewelry maker, who says he has no choice but to move forward, rebuild, and reopen. For WGCU News, I'm Jennifer Crawford.
Di Mattia believes it will take a year to reopen, about the same amount of time from Hurricane Ian. If you're displaced from your home for at least 30 days due to a hurricane, you may be eligible for a property tax refund for the amount of time you were out. In Charlotte County, folks are also struggling with steep financial burdens after the 2 hurricanes. Monica Scheckler owns Island Court Seafood on Englewood Beach. Hurricane Helene flooded her business with more than 4 feet of water. She raced to buy replacement equipment.
We were all ready to open up again, and then we were hit by Milton. Everything was submerged underwater or floated away.
Milton flooded the business again, this time with 6 feet of water. Scheckler has finally reopened after being shut down for about a month. She says she recently applied for federal assistance. In the meantime, she bought the equipment she needed on her own using credit cards. Many Southwest Floridians have extra financial burdens now, working to rebuild after Hurricanes Helene and Milton. There are some ways to try to reduce that economic stress. We're joined by the director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau now, Rohit Chopra. Thank you for joining us, Director Chopra. We appreciate it.
Thanks so much for having me, Sandra.
So let's start with this. Consumers can actually seek relief from the corporations that they do business with. Where should they start? What should they do?
Well, our agency, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, oversees a lot of these lenders, loan servicers, credit reporting companies, and more. And in the wake of a major disaster like a hurricane, we see that many people are reaching out to get help from us as well as from their lender. We recommend that if people are having trouble with their lender or financial company, to file a complaint with us at consumerfinance.gov. We see that so many people are getting responses and getting fixes once they come to us.
So you would say, do not be shy. Now is the time to reach out and say, I'm struggling financially. Can you help with, meeting my mortgage payments right now?
That's right. Whether it's a mortgage or a credit card or an auto loan, in many cases, there will be programs that give people who have been affected by a disaster some extra help. Often it's just more time to pay, but sometimes you can even modify the terms of your loan. It's really important, particularly for homeowners, to contact their mortgage servicer. That's the company that sends you bills and collects payments from you. You want to contact them and ask them specifically, what type of relief do you have available for those who are in a disaster area where there was an emergency declared? Again, you may be able to get a modification of your payments so that you don't fall behind and end up in foreclosure.
As you know, Southwest Florida is no stranger to hurricanes. There are ways you believe that we can prepare financially for events like this in the future. Any advice?
Well, we are tracking very closely what is happening in Florida and around the country when it comes to homeowners insurance. So many Floridians are finding themselves with big rate increases or outright cancellation, and that's making it trickier to deal with their mortgage. We're looking at all sorts of ways in which we can help consumers navigate before, during, and after. We encourage people to come to our website, consumerfinance.gov. There's so much people can do to prepare in advance and after a disaster. Some of it means making sure you have all of the right insurance paperwork to file claims, that you have some cash on hand in case there's a power outage or real challenges getting about your day. So we know that for so many people, a disaster is really something that is in the back of their mind, but not in front of them. But taking a little bit of preparation now can save you a whole lot of heartache in the future.
So local and state authorities have certainly been putting the word out about, potential scams involving folks, dealing with a disaster, whether that has to be, whether that's rebuilding or something else. What kinds of things do you want consumers to be aware of in protecting themselves from scams?
Well, be really wary of those who are coming door to door and offering their services to make fixes. We often find that a lot of people are scammed out of big money in the aftermath of a disaster. We want to make sure we're also protecting the public from price gouging. We have seen in the wake of disasters that companies can often jack up the prices on necessary goods. There are laws on the books that agencies across the federal government are looking at to make sure that people are not victimized by that. And in general, when it comes to filing your insurance claims, when you have trouble, don't look for third-party help unless it's truly a trusted source. You should file a case or complaint with your state insurance commissioner or other government agency if you're trying to resolve a backlog when it comes to getting money from your insurance company.
Director Chopra, we appreciate your time. Thank you for your help.
Thank you so much.